Steven Tennyson.
We're ready, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
It's fine, thank you.
All right. So, unauthorized use of vehicle. Anything else? Any other pending cases?
Yeah, Judge, he just got indicted on a first degree felony case. There's another attorney on that case, Sullivan. That
Yes.
case is not set for trial. And it's a multi-count indictment. So we're asking that we're here for evidence transfer on the state jail felony, but we're asking that both cases be reset for the same date.
All right. Who is 705?
Family. No. Family.
No, I think that's a special unit. Who is?
What's human trafficking?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All
All right. Mr. Tennyson? Steven Tennyson, come down, please. All right. Mr. Villarreal on Tennyson. I'm being told that he has a new case that was recently indicted. It's 2024. You have it?
I have it by memory. I do know.
All right. So I'm being told that his attorney on that case is James Sullivan.
That's correct.
All right. So you all going to have to do a little things off docket because I'm going to give you a 60-day reset so that, well, Mr. Tennyson, here's the thing. Either you want your attorney to have the information or you don't. When I give resets, what ends up happening, if your attorney speaks with Mr. Villarreal, and they want to come in sooner, they can always come in sooner. I will be here. But it does no good for me to set your case based upon my experience and the nature of this case. I'm sure there's a lot of discovery that needs to be given to him. And because the nature of the offense, it's not something that the state is going to be able to upload everything and say, here you go, because I'm sure some of it is sensitive. So that means that your attorney will need to make an arrangement with Mr. Villarreal to go see the information. And then if it's something, they're going to need to make arrangements for you to be able to see the information. And if I bring this back in 2 weeks, guess what? They're not going to have all the information. Your attorney is not going to have seen all the information. And I'm assuming that you would want your attorney to see everything so that they can represent you competently. All right. So the setting is going to be in 60 days. If Mr. Villarreal and if your attorney want to come back sooner, we're here Monday through Friday and they can ask that you be placed on the docket. You understand? All right.
Judge, just for the court's abundance with the court is correct. There are items of evidence that, to my knowledge, that will be discoverable, meaning we'll be able to produce them. It's just not through our system as well as their, well, that essentially is the bulk of it. There's just items that we cannot, because of our discovery system, use to upload, but that we'll be able to turn over that his attorney will want to review prior to.
And then if it's something, Mr. Tennyson, that your attorney needs you to be brought over to court to be viewed at the courtroom, then we will accommodate that as well. Okay? All right. So your reset date is going to be October 7th. And that will be for discovery. And if your attorney wants it brought over September, he can have it brought over September. But what I can tell you, based upon my experience, your attorney is not going to want this case brought back this month because they're not going to have time to review everything. You understand? All right. So have you had a chance to see Mr. Sullivan? All right. So you just have a seat here. You know your reset date, and we're going to have Mr. Sullivan come down so you can meet with Mr. Sullivan. All right. And then you've met with your attorney here. And what I can tell you, the case that this attorney is on is a state jail felony. So the case that Mr. Sullivan on is the higher level felony. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's going to be driving the ship.
Yeah. Yes, Judge. It's a first degree felony where he's not even parole eligible or probation eligible.
Yes.
Look, can I ask this
Judge,
question?
last time you had my client speak, he speaks about the case. I'm
No,
not
no.
instructing him not to speak.
He don't even come. talk
Here's the
to me.
thing.
He don't even come.
Well,
talk
let
to
me, I want you to hear me and I want you to internalize what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
This attorney is on a state jail felony case. The range of punishment is 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Your other attorney is on your first degree felony case.
Okay, I understand that.
All right, so the state and your attorney and this attorney is not going to want to do anything with the state jail felony case because the main case is the case that's just been indicted. So this is what I'm going to do, and I want you to internalize what I'm saying. Your attorney, Mr. Sullivan, the court coordinator is calling him. It's going to have him come over. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If he doesn't come over, what I'm going to do is I will have the deputies bring you back for Monday and we'll make sure that he's here.
Thank you.
And you can ask him whatever questions you want to ask of
Thank
him.
you. Thank you.
All right. Do you
Yes,
understand?
I do.
All right.
I do.
All right. Is there anything else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So Deputy Laura, if he can remain in the box, his attorney, Mr. Sullivan, is going to be coming over. All right.
And Judge, I'll hang out and I'll go get the business file.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. The parties on Shelby Bandy. Have you all conferred with the probation? All right. Are y'all ready to proceed? All right, please come down. Court is calling 2023 CR 7684, State of Texas versus Shelby Bandy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Aiden.
Defense?
William Davidson.
And are you Miss Bandy?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Shelby Bandy who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 7684 for the offense of burglary of a habitation force on October 17, 2023 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
On or about the 27th day of May 2024 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Shelby Bandy committed the offense of theft, violation of District 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State? The other allegations?
Waive and abandon, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware that what that means is your contract is with the court, it's not with your attorney, it's not with the state. If you've reached some sort of a proposed agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that agreement. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Deny the motion, amends conditions for cognitive behavioral class, IOP with lifetime recovery, enroll in PEP class within 7 days.
Probation.
Yes, Judge,
Is that probation's recommendation?
that's the recommendation that's on the court summary, Judge. I do want to point out that Ms. Bandy was placed on probation October 2023. You wanted field visits to be conducted at her home. They have been conducted, however, no contact has ever been made with Ms. Bandy at her home. She's not home when those are completed. Private outpatient program has not been completed. Parenting classes have not been completed. Community service hours, there was 200 hours ordered. There's a balance of 200 at this point.
All right. So, Ms. Bandy, you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Shelby Bandy.
All right. Other than committing a theft, what have you done on probation?
Well, I hadn't paid yet because I worked 6 days a week at my job and I was,
No, we're not talking about money,
oh, okay.
because what I'm talking about is You were supposed to do parenting classes. Have you done parenting
I
classes?
was online, I was doing them online because I was working, like I said, but I hadn't completed them yet.
All right. Have you been available for field visits?
No, ma'am, I was working 6 days a week, so when they went to my house, I was at work.
How did you have time to commit a theft if you're working 6 days a week?
I had taken the wrong person to the store and, you know, I gave a ride to the wrong person and got caught up doing that. So I just,
All right, so you have a time to take a person to the store,
Mhm.
commit a theft, but you don't have time to complete your parenting classes because you are working 6 days a week. You don't have time to be home for your field visits because you're working 6 days a week. And did you complete CATs 1 and 2?
not yet. Yeah, my probation officer told me that I would do that after I got done with the parenting classes.
All right, any questions, defense?
I do have some statements to make that
Yes,
I met with her.
and just 1 second, I'm sorry. State, any questions of the witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, counsel.
You know, I met with her prior to this, and she told me that after she was placed on probation, she had to go to jail. I believe it was for an offense out of another county. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so she wasn't out of jail until December 4th of what year?
2023.
2023. And she tells me her mom passed away the prior day. She tells me that her intent has been to complete these classes and to complete everything, but she seems to have had some problems doing so. Can you tell the judge why you didn't, just a better explanation of why you didn't complete all these things other than just working?
Yeah, I was working and then my mother passed away the day before I got out of jail. And so we had to, you know, plan her funeral. We ended up cremating her. We spread her ashes at the beach. And then her house, we were going to sell it now. And so we had to clean it up. So I was busy doing that too. You know, I was busy going to work. When I wasn't at work, I was at home packing up all of her stuff,
Did you pick up the phone and tell probation?
my probation officer, I was reporting and she knew everything that was going on and she was understanding about it. She just said, you know, she did tell me that I needed to go take a drug test and then pay something by the next time that I reported. And then I ended up getting locked up.
You know, I believe she's been in jail since June 20th. And she tells me she's been through many probation officers. And so I don't know if that's an excuse or anything, but
No, when I first started to report, I saw like 3 or 4 different probation officers in the beginning. And then the probation officer that I have now, I guess my permanent one, I only saw her 3 times, I believe.
Excuse me. No talking behind the court reporter. All you have to do is ask the deputy to move your person to the end. Thank you. You may continue.
Yeah, so they gave me like 3 or 4 different probation officers in the beginning, and then so it was like I got orientated like every time, you
How
know.
does that translate to you committing a theft?
It doesn't. It's just forgot what he asked me. It's just what I was doing, like why I hadn't completed the classes and stuff, you know, like why I hadn't done anything like taking a drug test or making payments and stuff like that because I was just busy working. And then the probation officer that I got, my permanent one, I only saw her like 2 or 3 times before.
ask her another question.
Yes.
Okay, do you understand this judge can send you to prison if you're too busy and then you won't be too busy?
Right, I understand that.
You understand that? Because probation is a chance for you to show the court that you can comply with regulations and rules. If you go out and you commit other offenses, you're not reporting, I know you report it, but if you're not doing everything you're supposed to do, your probation can be revoked.
I understand.
And nobody can stop the judge from doing that. You understand that?
I understand.
If this judge does go with the recommendation from the probation officer who wrote this up, are you going to comply with what you have to do?
Yes.
Are you going to be too busy working?
No.
You understand being too busy working tells the judge that you're too busy to do probation?
I understand.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm not going to follow your agreement. I don't think you're appropriate candidate for probation. The number one thing, you're on probation for breaking into someone's home and stealing. You haven't done anything on probation. The only thing you've done is committed another theft. So The court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court will find you guilty. I'll order the therapeutic community. That can help you with any drug or alcohol issues you may have. There's going to be a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Does anyone wish to speak on time? The range of punishment is 2 to 20 years.
Your Honor, I would ask for the 2 years because she probably thought she was gonna get the recommendation from probation today. And I know that it's serious, not, picking up another offense and so on, but she tells me she was working. I understand it's not an excuse, but she wasn't out there using drugs, according to her.
Okay. All right. State.
4 years, Your Honor.
All right. The court is finding you guilty. The court will order the therapeutic community, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. The court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorneys? Did you understand it and sign it?
She did sign it, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question on what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you. So for this.
All right, who's here on Maria Cisneros?
Hey, Judge,
Okay.
one who's talking. Also, I'm not a cat.
You're not a cat. Okay.
Judge, we're here on the PSI.
All right, just give me one moment. Let me just pull up the TAP evaluation.
And I'm gonna ask for a continuance, Judge,
Let me ask Mom if she has.
Okay, why will you be asking for a continuance?
because on the very last page, it says that on September 10th, my client has a mental health evaluation that was identified during the psychological.
All right, if you believe she's competent, we're gonna go forward. And I will take it on consideration that they believe that she has mental health
Okay.
issues potentially.
All right.
All right, everyone, we're gonna go on the record, so everybody can just step back. Court is calling 2024 CR 2004 and 2024 CR 2158. Make sure your phones are on silent. State of Texas versus Maria Cisneros. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris-Saban.
Doug Campbell. I'm sorry, Judge, Doug Campbell.
And are you Miss Cisneros?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of guilty in each of these cause numbers. On June 24th, a PSI was ordered. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report? State,
No.
defense?
No, Judge.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection to the TAP evaluation? State, defense?
No, Judge, but in the TAP evaluation, it does say that she needs to have some additional evaluation that's scheduled for September 10th, 2024.
All right. All right, and each of the cause numbers, well, let's start. In 2024 CR 2158, you entered a plea of guilty to aggravated assault of a security officer. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 8 years and a $1,500 fine. State is silent on your application. And cause number 2024 CR 2004, you entered a plea of guilty to retaliation. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is be assessed at 8 years in the prison, a $1,500 fine, and the state is silent. Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, I'll call my client.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you speak up and
Yes.
state your name for the record.
Maria Cisneros.
All right, everyone in the box, you all need to whisper. All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Maria, you understand that you're here on two different charges, is that correct?
Yes.
And you know that they're very serious allegations and that you pled guilty because you are guilty.
Yes.
Would you tell the court a little bit about your mental health record? What's your diagnosis and how are you being treated right now?
Bipolar, depression, and ADD, and they have me on Zyprexa.
When did you start taking the Zyprexa?
A few weeks after that, I was arrested.
And what were your symptoms prior to taking the Zyprexa and prior to your arrest?
Unstable,
Unstable what?
mood swings.
Okay. And as a result, you were probably making some pretty bad decisions, is that correct?
Yes,
And that includes the actions that led you to be here before the court today?
yes.
With respect to the Zyprexa, does it seem to be helping with your mood stabilization?
Yeah.
Are you, explain to the court how it helps?
Well,
Okay, so I'm so sorry. I'm gonna need you to speak up so I can hear.
it helps me. I really don't talk a lot, but I follow directions and I just speak a lot.
Okay.
Now, I see that in the PSI, you have quite a few different illegal substances that you've used in the past.
Yes.
Do you have cravings for those when you're using Zyprexa?
No.
So it's helping with that as well, is that correct?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to place you on probation today?
Yes.
Why do you think you'll be successful on probation?
I'm sorry, I'm nervous right now.
I get it.
I've never been on probation before, so I'm just asking you to give me a chance.
How old are you? Do
I'm 48.
you have any children?
Yes,
How old are they?
they're over 18.
How many children do you have?
3.
And have you spoken with them about you being on probation?
No.
With respect to your family support, do you have family support?
Yes,
Explain that to the judge.
my parents and their parents.
Anybody else?
They're the only 2 people I write to.
Have they indicated to you whether you'll be able to go back to that home?
I believe I can.
If not, where will you be staying? If the court gives you probation?
Not sure.
Would you like for one of your parents to come up here and address the court?
Sure.
Which one? What's her name or his name?
My father Gonzalez Cisneros.
Okay. Does he speak English?
No,
Does your mother speak English?
no.
All right, why is everybody whispering? People are whispering like it's for dramatic effect, but I can't hear if everybody's whispering.
It's exactly for dramatic effect.
All right, let's not do dramatic effects.
Okay. Now, in your PSI, it says you don't want probation if you could have it your way. How would you rather have this case resolved?
I wish I could just have the, time served, same time.
And you know that in this case, it's either court, prison or probation, right?
I would like to take probation.
And you'll do everything that you can to be successful on probation?
Yes,
If the court were to send you to DDRF or some other facility, are you willing to go there to continue to get assistance with your mental health and your drug treatment?
yes,
And you understand that that's a better alternative to go into prison, I guess, right?
mhm.
Is there anything else you want to let the court know? Are you remorseful for your actions this day?
Yes, I regret it.
Why do you regret it?
I was in stable at the time. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I wish I could change things.
How would you change things in the future?
Probably not carry a machete.
That's fair. What else?
And be more respectful of people.
Okay. And do you believe those are things that you've had an opportunity to learn while you've been in jail waiting for this day?
Yeah.
Have you taken any classes while you've been waiting?
Anger management.
Did you complete that course?
Yes.
Tell the court maybe the top 3 things you learned in anger management.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the spot. I can't even
I
think
know.
right now.
It's okay. Take your time. Have you learned any coping mechanisms to deal with your anger?
Yeah.
What coping mechanisms have you learned?
It's a stop sign
Mhm.
and redirect myself.
Okay. And how do you redirect yourself?
I just think about, consequences.
Okay. And right now you're facing a pretty big consequence, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need to let the court know? Thank you, Judge Aldros.
All right. So I know in the police report, you had left a hospital before all of this happened. What hospital had you left?
It was Metropolitan.
I'm sorry, what?
Metropolitan,
And why were you at Metropolitan Hospital?
when I got arrested,
Yes, why were you
Oh.
leaving the hospital?
I went to the hospital in the first place because I went to, I had got raped earlier, 3 hours before that, and I wanted to talk to somebody, but I didn't want to get the person in trouble because I wasn't sure who he was. And I wanted to get tested to make sure that I'm getting the STD, so that's why I went to the hospital.
So what is your mental diagnosis?
Depression and bipolar.
All right. And any other diagnosis? What medication are you on?
Depression.
All right. Any other medication that you've been on in the past?
In the past, I've been on a few meds. I've been on Depakote, Zoloft, Retrum, Taxols, Ritalin.
And how long have you been on those medications?
It's been years I've been off of meds. I've been self-medicating myself.
All right. When's the first time you were given medication for mental health? Do you remember your age?
I was in my 20s.
All right. Would you like to have her parents testify?
Judge Lee speaks Spanish. I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's what
We have an
interpreters are for.
We have an interpreter available. I would love to.
All right. If you'll step to the box and let Miss Ferguson know, and they'll get an interpreter down.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's here on Jesus Prado?
I am, Judge.
Where is your client? All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 11451, 2023 CR 11452, 2023 CR 11453, 2023 CR 11454, State of Texas versus Jesus Prado. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason, your hand up.
Defense?
Ernest Acevedo for Mr. Prado.
All right, we'll start with the motions defense has filed. It's motion to modify bond conditions, and it's to remove the no contact order and replace it with no harmful or injurious contact. State, are you a chance to review the motions?
Yes, we have.
Any objections?
Actually, no, Your Honor. We had contact with the mother of the children, and she sent an email. I've sent it to defense. If I continue that to the court without any objection.
No objections.
That was sent to Mr. Acevedo, but then the mother of the children forwarded that to my advocate.
All right, so here's my question with regards to this. Is CPS involved?
No.
But not
Do we know that for sure?
I'm virtually certain there isn't, Judge, not at this point in time, because he's in custody.
All right. Well, sometimes even if someone's in custody, CPS is still involved. And the reason why I bring it up is because when CPS is involved, and if they say, oh, we're not going to do anything because a person is in custody, and they close the case because they say children are protected, person is in custody, they're thinking that the person will still have no contact. So I want to know if there's actually a CPS case that was open and that's been closed, because this is what's going to end up happening. If there was a CPS case and if they closed it because they're saying no danger because you're in custody and then there is contact, then what's going to happen is the new CPS is going to be open and they're going to be wondering why Judge Boyd allowed contact. So I need to know if there was a CPS case and whether or not that CPS case has been closed. And if there was a CPS case and it was closed, 9 times out of 10, it was closed because they say person is in custody. So before I make a ruling on this, I want to know that fact and not just people saying it.
We'll check into that, Judge.
All right, thank you. I don't know why somebody's raising their hand in the back, but
Oh, there's family here, Judge. I'll
Okay.
talk to them after the.
all right, thank you. So the next thing is today, there was supposed to be an offer tendered. Has an offer been tendered?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
All right. How much time do you need?
Well, we need some time. I did speak with defense counsel. I don't believe, we spoke about him, in a sense, not being ready for an offer, but if he's asking for one more expert, I believe.
There's a lot of medical evaluation going on right now, Judge, and there's an expert who said there's an issue that's come up that requires a different kind of expert. I'm trying to find somebody.
How long is this going to take?
Well, I think I can have a name pretty quick, but there has to be an evaluation, and that's going to take at least 60 days minimum, I would think.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to reset this for 60 days. And in 60 days, an offer needs to be tendered whether you have your expert or not.
Yes.
I understand, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date?
October 7th.
All right, we're going to come back on October 7th. An offer will be due, plus acknowledgement of discovery. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, and with regards to the request, defense in your motion, of course, you can set under on the docket or whatever and just bring that information. And I would prefer if there was a CPS case that was open, if you could have the caseworker zoom in. If there's no objections to the caseworker zooming in.
No objection.
No objection to that, Judge. I can have an answer for that pretty quickly.
All right, thank you. Just let Ms. Ferguson know and she'll put it on the docket quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Who's here for Carl Fuller?
I am, Judge.
Who's here, state?
So, Judge, I got hired on this case about 2 weeks ago. I spoke with the state this morning and provided some evidence for them that they're going to try to obtain some body camera videos related to this incident. I don't think they had been informed of that by the previous attorney. So I'm asking the court for a 30-day reset. I guess you think that's enough time?
More than enough time.
So we can try to get the discovery on this case.
How much time are you requesting, state? How
I
much?
think 30 days is one of those where it gives us still a little bit of a buffer, just in case there's some issue with them getting the evidence to us. Mr. Bauer did give us, it was a SAP case number that would have been looked up the police report to then see if we can get body cam from. And then I believe he's also gonna send us other mitigating evidence.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a 30-day reset for discovery and state you'll need to be prepared to tender an offer at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have September 5th.
All right, we'll bring you back on September 5th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, who's here on John Swomley? And after John Swomley, it will be Hawkins.
And I'll be on Hawkins as well, Judge, right after.
Okay. All right, who's the party on, there you are. All right, so where are we on the CPS records?
So we received the CPS records, Your Honor. We just do need to provide a copy to defense. We have an agreed order that he needs to sign and we will be tendering to the court.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, state, were you prepared to tender an offer today or no?
We can.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, if you can recall this in 30 days, that's going to be your plea deadline date.
September 5th.
All right, we're going to come back on September 5th.
Yes, Judge, I appreciate it, and just want to let the court know that my client is currently at lifetime recovery, working on his recovery, doing well, and we expect him to,
Oh, awesome.
God's grace, finish completely and get that certificate and continue his sobriety, Judge. So,
All right, continue 1 day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I plan on a lifetime.
All right.
thank you, John.
Thank you.
We'll send the reset form and give you excuse to us.
All right, yes, sir.
All right, the attorney on George Hawkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, are you gonna have witnesses for this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5390, State of Texas versus George Laverne Hawkins. Could our parties announce for the state?
Andrew Harris, with the state.
Defense?
Renee Munoz.
And are you Mr. Hawkins?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea on June 20th, 2024 to the offense of assault of a peace officer. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment must be assessed at 6 years in the prison. The state is silent on your application. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 7315, 2024 CR 5389, County Court Cause number 729000. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge, and no objections.
All right, the state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses at this time, Judge, only clarification, explanation / argument.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. With regard to Mr. Hawkins, I've been dealing with him for some time, assisting with these legal matters. He has been keen and set on taking advantage of the specialty court because I believe that specialty courts are designed for individuals like Mr. Hawkins that are dealing with issues and they need that support and structure from a team that can help them understand their issues and put to different resources in the community. We did apply for veteran treatment court on May 30th. He was denied that court, albeit being a veteran and having served this country honorably and receiving an honorable discharge because there is not a sufficient nexus between his issues and the service, according to the program, Judge. So after that denial of that program, we went ahead and had him considered for lifetime recovery. We did reach out and have him screened, and we do have documentation here that he does meet criteria and can go there if allowed by the court. We also reached out to felony drug court in advance to see if he would meet criteria for that program as well. I do have documentation here that he does meet criteria. However, he was denied at that time because it is obviously, as the court is well aware, post-adjudication program, and we're not at that stage as of this time. So, Judge, he's been dealing with some issues. He did graduate from University of Houston with an accounting degree in 2010. However, some of the issues he's dealing with, namely surrounding substance use, he uses methamphetamine, things of that nature, had led him to be homeless and have some interaction with law enforcement. The nature surrounding these offenses are not of an egregious type. He was arrested and fled out and made contact with the officer's shin, I believe. The other offense that he was charged with, Judge, he was actually at Cross Point, and he was going to be emergency detained from there and taken to a facility. However, he was routed to the jail upon them alleging have spit on the back of the officer's head. So there is some issues here. We don't believe that the issues are necessarily attributable to a criminal mindset, more so a cry for help and need for treatment, Judge. So we're asking the court to consider the avenue of treatment with inpatient treatment facility. I referenced the PSI, and the PSI is recommending inpatient treatment. We're asking for that to be ordered, Judge, so he can be transferred from here to lifetime recovery, have him doing well.
But what is this says in the report? He declined to have a mental health screening, stating he didn't want to sign for any of the department's dual diagnosis programs or residential programs because he doesn't like the idea of sitting in jail for 4 months just to go to treatment.
Yes, Judge, and if I might clarify that, I believe he's maybe had heard word around the jail that maybe the DDR rep times are long. They can result in months-long waits to get him into facility, and I think that he's been in custody for number of months now. He's wanting to get a hold on his treatment and recovery, and believes that lifetime recovery would probably be less of a wait time to get him into that treatment, Judge. So I did explain that in the PSI with him, and he stated that was his concern about the mental health facility being much longer wait, and him waiting in custody until a bed opens up, where in contrast to that, the Bear County is notifying me that they do have space for him at Lifetime Recovery, and they can readily transfer him there to get him on the road to his recovery and to turn his life around. And my suggestion, I think the court hopefully is on the same mindset, that if he does that, it's going to put him in a better place to work the felony drug court program, which he meets criteria for, and give him that access to that specialty court, which we were vying for and trying to get with the Veterans Treatment Court, but he did not meet criteria for that, Judge. For these reasons, we're asking respectfully for the court to consider that. I do have the treatment documentations of been evaluating him, Judge, as well, for the court to consider, just to verify. It's my understanding, confirmed with the state of Texas representatives, that they're silent as to this request because they see the need for him to get some treatment and some help. And he's been patiently waiting for us to try to get it together to hopefully create these avenues for him. And I think we have some options and availability here, Judge, to get him some treatment over just incarceration.
All right. I see that he is a veteran and was honorably discharged.
Yes, Judge.
And it appears from reviewing the history and reviewing the instant case that there's an issue with drug use. There's an issue with mental health. Now, whether that mental health occurred due to his military service or not, the court doesn't have that information. So I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can give people choices. Sometimes I can not give them choices. I always tell people, you can't choose how your recovery is going to look like in the sense of, I want this treatment, I don't want that treatment. Because if you could do that and write your own program, we wouldn't be here and you wouldn't have the criminal history that you have. So I can sentence you to 4 years in prison, or what's going to end up happening is I'm going to refer you back to felony drug court because I know they have a dual diagnosis program. If they don't accept you, you're going to safety. So those are your choices.
Is, Your Honor, just for clarification, the felony drug court dual diagnosis, is that within the felony drug court
Yes.
program? Would it still be an avenue for him to get treatment at Lifetime Recovery? If
He's going to felony, if felony drug courts accepts him, then drug court will set his conditions. If felony drug court does not accept him, he's going to safety.
Okay, yes, understood, Judge. If we could be considered for the felony drug court, and then whatever recommendations they may have, as long as they're reasonable, Judge, he'll be on board with that.
No, I mean, felony drug court, it doesn't matter if people think their recommendations are reasonable or not. It's, if he goes to felony drug court, then felony drug court is going to set his conditions. If he goes to felony drug court and he says, I don't want this, then what's going to end up happening, a motion to revoke is going to be filed.
Yes, Judge, I understand. And ultimately, we're looking for an avenue for him to get treatment through a specialty court. So that's with the recommendation of felony drug court piece. He wanted me to voice that he would like to be considered for that and take part of that program.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2023 CR 7315, 2024 CR 5389, 729,000. He's to remain in custody for the following evaluations: a referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then SafeP, followed by aftercare. And then MIC evaluation, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment or SSI within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Anger management. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And I'm sorry, instead of the anger management probation, it's going to be this a hostility management aggression control program. There's to be no contact with K Talley, Talley, and probation with regards to the MIC. Maybe the best place for that, if he's not accepted in to felony drug court, once he's released from safety, if we do the mental health treatment through the VA. Probation also will do 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else he needs? I'm sorry?
No, sir.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
Understood.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And the court did not see any restitution amount for the officer. So state if there is going to be restitution to the officer, you will need to provide that within 30 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you for allowing us to be heard on this matter.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes. Cisneros. Yes. Then,
The interpreter is here, Judge.
all right, Cisneros, come down, please. All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 2158 and 2024 CR 2004, State of Texas versus Maria Cisneros. Could I have the parties reintroduce themselves for the record, please?
Andrew Harris, Salem, to the state.
Doug Campbell for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Cisneros?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, you have witnesses?
I do, Judge. I'll call Gonzalez Cisneros first.
Over here.
All right, we have an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Mariana Rios.
All right, and your witness, state the name again, please.
Gonzalo Cisneros.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Amen.
No. Do you affirm? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Gonzalo Cisneros.
Gonzalo Cisneros.
Defense?
Are you Maria's father?
Yes.
Do you understand that she's here now before the court because she's got some pretty serious charges that she's facing?
Yes.
Were you aware that she's previously been diagnosed with mental illness?
No,
Does it surprise you that she's got a diagnosis for mental illness, that's been taking medication recently?
no,
Do you understand that we're asking the court for probation for Maria, rather than prison time?
yes,
Do you have any thoughts on whether she would do well in prison, or would she benefit from treatment outside of prison?
yes,
Do you think she would benefit from prison?
I think so.
Why do you think she would benefit from prison rather than treatment out in the world? Or
Because,
do you think that?
Well, wait a minute, let me hear the answer.
because we're not sure that she is going to keep coming to the appointments. But if she promises and promises to obey, then yes.
Do you understand that she's already told the court she's gonna do everything she can to be successful on probation, including going to mental health appointments?
Okay,
Do you understand that? Do
yes,
you understand that she's already told the court that she's willing to take her medication so that she can continue to get mental health treatment?
yes,
Are you okay with her moving back to your home with your wife?
yes,
And you understand she can't do that if she goes to prison, right?
yes,
So are you here to tell the court that you are going to support Maria in her continued efforts
yes,
with her mental health?
yes,
And do you have a plan to try to help her get to her mental health visits? Will you drive her?
well, if there's time, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
All right, I just have a few questions. What has been your experience with your daughter and her going to appointments that have been ordered for her?
Well, that she behaves okay.
All right, does she go to her appointments that she's supposed to go to?
Yes, yes,
All right. Are you aware of any mental health issues that she has?
no,
How was she growing up as a child?
she was very kind.
When's the last time you had contact with her? When's the last time you saw her before today?
The other time when she had a court, because we have not been able to see her after the appointments.
Okay. And sir, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
78.
All right. And do you have any type of medical issues yourself?
Yes,
All right. What are your medical issues?
diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, sugar.
All right. Thank you so much for coming down to tell me about your daughter. State, do you have any questions?
No, you're.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'll call Maria Guadalupe Cisneros.
Siempre viene el juez.
Okay. All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Maria Cisneros.
All right, defense.
Ms. Cisneros, you're the mother of Maria Elena Cisneros, is that correct?
Yes, I am her mom.
And you understand that she's facing some pretty serious charges and prison time?
Yes, yes.
Do you think she would benefit from prison? Or do you think she would benefit from working with a doctor outside to address her mental health issues?
That question is really hard.
Why is that? Let me ask a different question. Are you aware that Maria has some mental health issues?
A little bit?
What are you aware of?
Because she was taking medicine for depression.
Is that recently?
Well, that was some years ago, but then she left and we didn't know from her or of her.
Were you aware that Maria was self-medicating with illegal substances?
Yes, yes.
Are you aware of whether she's getting any medicine at the Bexar County Jail that's assisting her with mental illness?
No, I don't know.
If she is getting medication, have you noticed any change in her behavior since this whole ordeal has started?
I am not sure.
Are you willing to support Maria if the court were to give her probation by assisting her in getting to her her scheduled visits?
If I can, yes.
Have you spoken with Maria about whether she wants probation and whether you think she would be successful?
No, I have not spoken to her.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
All right. I just have a few questions. How many children do you have?
I have 6.
All right. And your other children, your other 5 children, have they had any type of mental health issues?
No.
Okay. So what do you think the problem is with your daughter Maria? Why does she do what she do?
I don't understand her.
Okay. Before she was arrested, did you have regular contact with her?
Not a lot because she would come and go, come and go.
All right. Does she have any children?
Yes, she has 3.
All right. And where are her 3 children?
With their dad.
All right. Any questions?
There you go.
You have another question?
I have a question based on your last question.
Sure.
How old are Maria's 3 children?
No estoy segura, pero uno tiene como 20, como unos 26, la otra tiene como 21 y la otra tiene 19.
I'm not sure. I think one is like around 26, the other one around 21, and the other one is 19.
That's all I had, Judge.
Right. Did she participate at all in help raise them?
Not right now.
Right, when they were younger.
Ever since they're little, they've been with their dad.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me some insight into your daughter. And I want you and your husband to know that nothing you said here today impacted your daughter in a negative way. So thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. I understood that.
Your Spanish is getting better, Judge.
I'm telling you, my understanding of it is getting better.
Judge, those are the only witnesses I have.
All right. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, this is what the court is going to do.
Judge, may I say something on behalf of my client?
Sure.
Judge, we started this, looking at this back in February, and when I first met Maria, she's not the person that's standing in front of you today. She was angry. She did not want to be here, obviously, but since then she has been taking her Zyprexa. Her mental health seems to have improved. The first time I saw her in court, last time we were here, she smiled. She was nice to me. It's just a completely changed person. I think the Zyprexa is doing what it's supposed to be doing and stabilizing her moods. And it would be, and I know people can get mental health help in prison, but I don't think that's the route that would be beneficial to Maria. I think she's made some strides. I think she could continue to make those strides out in the world, and I'd ask the court to grant her probation.
All right. Well, the court is going to note that she has a previous assaultive criminal history. And cause number 2024 CR 2158. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Do you want to address the restitution? The officer says he has $500 restitution for mental health.
Judge, I would imagine if he had insurance, that would have been paid for by the insurance company. I don't know that Maria would be in a position. It sounds like you're going to sentence her to prison time. I'm not sure she's going to be in a position to pay that.
All right. So I'll say restitution, if any, to David Munoz. Court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served, and I'll request the mental health unit.
Thank you, Judge.
And with regards to the mental health unit, you'll have to request it as well. I have no jurisdiction to force them to do that. And cause number 158, and the cause number 2024 CR 2004. The court will find you guilty. Court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. I'll request the mental health unit. And this will run concurrent with 2024 CR 2158. And just so the record is clear, 2024 in that CR 2158, and that cause number, I'm also running it concurrent with 2024 CR 2004. Did you review the documents entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I call it your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Cisneros, I did strongly consider giving you deferred adjudication. Your attorney presented good arguments to the court. But I decided not to do that based upon everything that I've heard. It's not your parents' fault. You understand? All right. Good luck to you when you're released from prison. If you cannot find mental health treatment, if I'm still here, you can come in and I will direct you in the right place. Okay? All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.